You know what? I'm proud of you for clicking on this video. You could have just continued running the Grau and the M4A1 all of your life and done perfectly well. But you've come to expand your mind, and I respect that. So I've been experimenting with a few different weapons, since it can get kind of boring using the same weapons all the time, and it turns out the FR556, aka the Famas, is honestly amazing. It makes me proud as a big Modern Warfare 2 fan that this weapon can absolutely slay, and I'll not waste any more time, so let's look at the class setup. So for the muzzle, it's gotta be the monolithic suppressor, there's no surprises here. Essentially every weapon on Warzone is enhanced by a monolithic suppressor. It silences your weapon on a map with 149 other people on it, which as you can imagine is pretty useful, but it also gives you good damage range, which typically is where silencers on Call of Duty ruin your weapons. Next up for the barrel, it's the FR 24.4 inch sniper barrel. Like I say, it's a massive map on Warzone, so you want your AR to be able to challenge people at long distances. A long barrel does just this, increasing your damage range, bullet velocity and recoil control. Unfortunately, it does reduce your ADS time and movement speed, but the positives here outweigh the negatives. Being a threat at distance, whilst controlling recoil, is just exactly what you need on a big map like Verdansk. Okay, now onto an optic. The GI Mini Reflex is best for just a simple, quick ADS scope that helps you see more clearly. But I'm always a little reluctant to run optics on my weapons, as I'd rather just try and power the weapon up in other areas, but the iron sights on the weapon really aren't great, so you may need it. If you feel like you don't need it though, maybe go for something like the Commando foregrip, which helps you control recoil a little bit more and gives you some more aiming stability. Of course, it does reduce movement speed slightly, but that's not so important for me. Next up, I advise running the stippled grip tape as your rear grip to counter the monolithic suppressor and our sniper barrel, as this speeds up the ADS time and sprint to fire time. This really helps the Famas in its utility. It's not just some big clunky weapon where you have to always be aiming down the sights. Now finally, onto the ammunition. The Famas comes with 30 round mags, but of course, coming up against more than one player at a time, you're going to want larger magazines. A lot of people instinctively go for the largest magazine they can, but this really slows down your ADS and movement speed. And on top of the suppressor and sniper barrel we're already running, which also slow these aspects down, we don't have much room for maneuver. We don't want to make it too slow, otherwise we'll get fried before we even aim down the sights. So I'm going to suggest the 50 round mags. It's a nice compromise. You're slowing down ADS time and movement speed, but not too much, and you're getting 20 extra bullets in that mag. I really don't think the extra 10 bullets in the mag is going to help us out that much, compared to how much aiming in slightly quicker would. So overall, these attachments make the FR556 a classic cruncher of an AR, but at close range you are going to suffer due to a slower ADS time. So I'd recommend either running overkill with an SMG, that's if you can get your loadout early enough in the game before getting Ghost from the first map loadout drop, or running some killer pistol combination that you like, perhaps the Renetti or something like that. This ensures that you can be lethal at essentially any range. So in regards to the rest of the loadout, with the perks and things like that, I'm sure you have your own choice with your preferred setup, but I'll just mention what I recommend in case you fancy a tip. So I run the trusty old EOD as my first perk. Some people prefer cold-blooded, but honestly the amount of RPGs and C4s that get sent my way, I'd rather just be able to repel them. For perk 2, as I mentioned, should be Ghost or Overkill. Maybe make 2 classes and have one with Ghost and the other with Overkill, and then you can just choose the best loadout for the situation you find yourself in. Perk 3 is kind of less important, but I like to run Amped, which allows you to change weapons insanely quick to give the best chance of coming out on top in gunfights. Now the classic setup in terms of equipment and lethals is heartbeat sensor and some C4, but I think it depends on whether you're on your own or with a squad and what they're running. Sometimes it's good to have a couple of stuns at your disposal to get out of tricky situations, but I'll leave that up to you guys. If in doubt though, heartbeat sensor and C4 is the way to go. That's everything from me in this video. I hope you give the FR556, or Famas as we call it, a run out. It really is good fun, but remember to try and run something for those close range battles. Please give the video a like if you've got a second, and subscribe for more Call of Duty videos. Bye for now.